And that's a perfect segue to my question of what is more important? The community as a whole and trying to uplift your community, or your own personal, I guess, your own personal growth and like your family?
Ah, fuck, man.
Like, what is more important?
Fuck. If I'm just being real, my family, but I try to do both, and fuck, man, like, the more we talk, the more I keep respecting Nipsey more and more and more, because what the...
He was literally doing both. Like,
he was living in both worlds. He had both feet in both, and that shit
and he was
is so hard.
Firmly planted in that shit. That's why it's...
And again, I did not follow this dude's music. I just like would see him in interviews, and I'm like, this motherfucker's special. But I just don't know what to do, because I see my wife and my son, and I'm like, fuck everybody else. As long as you guys are good, I'm happy. But I love my neighborhood so much, and I love my city so much. And anybody who hasn't lived in Long Beach or isn't from Long Beach doesn't understand how special it is. Everybody's hometown is special, but Long Beach has a little bit extra, man. Like, the amount of, like, NFL, we have the most NFL players out of Long Beach Poly. Just, like, baseball players, everything. Like, it's a special place.
We're pretty diverse.
Yeah, and there's so much love here. If you come from Long Beach, you're automatically, like, you become kin.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man, because I want to do so good for the community, and I want to help out the next generation. But goddamn, I'm not gonna risk my family for it. So, what do you do? Did you guys see that video of Nipsey slapping the shit out of a security guard a while back? And I look at that shit and I laugh at it. But I remember being like, Nipsey, come on, man. Like, don't. Like, that dude was just trying to do his job.
But then, like, I'm watching, I'm like, nah, that's what's supposed to happen.
Right.
Like, and that's what I'm talking about.
And it's two worlds, because my first instinct is like, haha. But I'm like, no. I'm like, nah, man, he's just a dude trying to do his job too. So, like, what do you do?
And I feel like...
figure it out yourself.
I honestly feel like, and it's going to sound kind of wild, but I feel like once you're out of the hood, technically, you're not a part of the community anymore.
That's true.
If you really want to be, like, real technical about it, as soon as you leave or whatever, now you can, like... I wear this Long Beach hoodie and everything. When I go to work, everybody know I'm from Long Beach and everything. I don't give a fuck, right? So, but I understand that my new area code and everything is not Long Beach. Yeah. So I can't talk that same shit like, nah, fuck that. I'm in here and everything like that, because I'm not.
Because you're really not, yeah.
So to me, if we're keeping it real, I'm being fake if I do some shit like that. Because I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, I was out here and then take my ass... down a whole nother freeway in a safe ass area. That's not cool. Right.
It's like white girls repping Brooklyn. Yeah. Like, you're not from fucking Brooklyn. Stop.
Like, or you're from the fucking gentrified Brooklyn, maybe.
Right.
But, you know, I feel like, to me, that's being fake, right? So, I feel like at a point, honestly, we have to learn to let go of these places if we want to grow. But that does not mean turning your back on these places. Yeah. I think that's where because people have that whole, I guess, that they feel like once you leave it and you don't come back, that fuck you, you'll sell out, like we raised you and everything like that, and then that's it. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, and kind of to Steve Harvey's point, yeah, like if you're making it and you're being successful, you can't help the next man if y'all both in jail. Right. You can't help the next man, you know what I'm saying, if y'all both dealing with cases and shit. That's not going to help him. But what can help him is you can honestly, which is like how I look at you, it's crazy because, like, we know you, obviously, right? But I'm pretty sure there's people that go on your Instagram, there's people that go on your Twitter, and they see you and they don't understand, like, in your fucking, like, @ name, it's LB. Man, like, it's the first thing you see, it's not your name, it's LB. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's a kid right now who's like, oh, Manny Montana's from Long Beach. He acts. I can follow his blueprint and everything like that. Like, we don't even understand that we're leaving blueprints, which is crazy because, like, me and Mark getting messages now from people being like, oh, we want to do this, and we think you guys are dope, and, like, how do you do this? And it's like, what? Yeah, like, I'm like, what? Like, and it's just crazy because I feel like I would be stupid if I'm, you know, talking like I'm talking every day. to you guys, and we're doing these hot takes, and we're doing this podcast, but then I turn around and I take my dumb ass back to the hood and do some stupid shit.
All right. You know what? As you were talking, I started thinking more about what you were saying and about. I feel like Nipsey was living completely in both worlds.
Right.
And I feel like the only way to do it is to kind of live in both worlds.
Right.
And in comparison would be to like the area we're at now. It's very close to Long Beach, but it's not Long Beach. So
At all.
and also like I could help from here. I can't help it from in the hood and like trying to be hood and like doing all this. I'd rather have like it's like if I owned a company and I needed to know what was cool. I'm not gonna go off of what I think is cool. I'm gonna hire some young kid. I'm gonna hire young kids who still know what's up. I'm gonna take their opinions. I'm gonna listen to them and I'm gonna trust them and I'm gonna do that. I can't live in that world. I can't fucking go and hang around high schoolers. It's fucking weird. Like I need to be able to have people.
R. Kelly, man.
So you need. I feel like now that we're talking about this, I feel like you need to kind of like be in both worlds, but you can't be in it fully. And I feel like Nipsey was maybe keeping it too real, and still being involved with everybody that he grew up with. And I feel like there might have been a better way to help, but the way he did it was right for him. And the way it worked out, it just happened to end up in a whole fucked up way. So I'm sorry that it ended it that way. But maybe the way to do it is that.
You can't help like being, I guess, like in that area, the bad area. You're just trying to survive. Like you can't think of a plan to make this place better. So you have to get out, be in a peaceful area for the first time in your life. Get used to like sleeping where it's just quiet as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, no helicopters going all night.
It takes a while.
It does take a while. And there you could start formulating plans of like how to help this place out, the place that you were out. Because if you don't, then all you're doing is just running around surviving, and no one's making a plan when they're just surviving.
Yeah, I remember Pac saying, like, he was like, man, before I got shot, I knew. He was like, I knew a black person would never shoot me. And then, like, you know, the first people that, like, tried to rob him in that elevator in New York, two black dudes. Yep. And he said it completely changed his whole fucking mind state. And again, it's not like he turned his back on black people everywhere. It was just like, oh shit, now I have to be more cautious. The same people that give Snoop shit for living in Chino Hills.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you expect the man to do? Stay on the east side and like have to look over his shoulder all the time to keep it real in your point of view?
And still bang 20s, like
right.
which like
come on, man. Like he has a family, he's got a career, he's an icon. Like let the man live. And
that's the type of shit how deep it gets in places like Long Beach and everything. Because there was a point where Snoop was kicked out, like of the quote unquote. He was kicked out of the hood and he couldn't come back to Long Beach and shit like that. And that's where I feel like that's always going to be that fear when you do make it that you can't come back. And again, if we're going based off how we were raised or whatever, can't no nigga tell me where I can and can't go. Like that's not going to happen, right? But then you get in those situations where you don't realize that sometimes going back is way more dangerous than you thought it was when you were originally there. Right. Even though you know everybody there, that love that you had when you were there, it might not be the same when you go back.
Nope.
Because now people are either in the same situation or in worse situations, and they starving. You coming around here and fucking niggas acting and shit on TV. Right. You want to talk about what's up and like let's go get lunch. Nigga, fuck you and your lunch. Like
they observe. Like speaking on my point of view, I feel like they observe me in a different way. I feel like motherfuckers that see me are like trying to figure out if I'm Hollywood or if I'm still cool.
Right.
And I feel like a normal person doesn't have to get that. Doesn't have to be like observed that way. Like I feel like if you walk into some place, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's just Dwayne from Long Beach. Me, it's not like, oh, that's Manny who's from Long Beach, but let me see what he's like now. And I hate that. I hate that I have to prove that I'm still normal and that I'm not Hollywood, whatever the fuck that means. So you're just looked upon differently.